Hello and welcome again in another video. We are going to tackle language acquisition, but first we will tackle the emergence of psycholinguistics. We will know when does psycholinguistics emerged as a term and as a discipline. I felt that it is a beneficial information. So as psycholinguistics has emerged as a term in 1936 by the writing of Jacob Robert Cantor in his book An Objective Psychology of Grammar, and in 1946 it has been updated by Nicholas Promko in his and mentioned the word psycholinguistics and language in his article. So psycholinguistics has emerged as a discipline in two main periods, is pre-Chomsky era and post-Chomsky era. We say pre-Chomsky era because it preceded the ideas of Chomsky, and post-Chomsky after the influence of Chomsky on modern linguistics and psycholinguistics and other disciplines with his ideas. Because psycholinguistics was introduced as a discipline, interdisciplinary field. So pre-Chomskyan era, we have mentioned before that psycholinguistics was introduced by the Egyptians and Greeks. Yet we have to focus, here they are exclusive information and based upon certain other writings, as for example we say in the pre-Chomskyan era, the era that preceded Chomsky, psycholinguistics was mentioned in two major ancient civilizations in Egyptians civilization, where they thought that psycholinguistics is mainly located in the brain, and according to it language and psychology are linked, and the Greeks felt that it is in the heart. And then after these two ancient civilizations came another update to it in early 19th century. It was called not psycholinguistics, it was called empirical studies. And then in the late 1970s it would have been changed into neuropsychology. The name was changed also into neuropsychology of language, according to main scholars Albertine, Broca, and Ernick, and Gall Ballard. And then in the last stage, before Chomsky's ideas and thoughts and his revolution was in the early 20th century, mentioned by B.F. Skinner, the founder of behaviorist school, where he said that psycholinguistics or language is a verbal behavior. We mean that it can be acquired from the environment itself. And now we can mention the second stage, which is the post-Chomskyan era, in finding out that the emergence of psycholinguistics as a discipline. So the post-Chomskyan came after the influence of Chomsky. We say Chomsky influence, or Chomsky's influence. He influenced this discipline and other disciplines as applied linguistics, linguistics, and some others by his thoughts, mainly transformational generative grammar and mentalism. He is the founder of mentalist school, where it assumes that language is a kind of innate abilities processed in the brain, and each human being born with innate abilities that allows him to acquire language naturally, which are like the LAD, LAD, language acquisition device. We will talk about it. Then we have in the 1970s, it came to the use in other domains like digital computer, and in 20th century, 20th in our century, 21st century, I don't know, 20th century, it was by the use of AI. So we will move to another lesson, which is language and thought. So Sapir, in his Edward Sapir, has been made another thought, which is by his well said that human beings do not live in the objective world alone, but are very much at the mercy of the particular language which has became the medium of expression for their society. Here he means that language shapes the thought of society by his theory like determinism and social relativism of his student Worf. According to him, he said that we dissect, we analyze. Dissect means analyze. We analyze nature along laid down by our native languages. And also he said that languages differ in what they must convey, not in what they may convey. It's contradictory, yet he means by it language influences thought. So language influences thought, but it does not shape it completely. Means that when we study human language, we are approaching what some might call the human essence. The human essence, maybe they think that it is not about the language that shapes the thought. Maybe the thought shapes the language. And this topic has been an topic of interest between a lot of them. So we'll tackle the second one, which is behaviorism. So even behaviorism or behaviorist theory has contributed in this thought by declaring that Skinner declared that thinking is a behavior. Thinking is a behavior which is not observable by others. He is still consistent on the idea that language is a verbal behavior, and the thinking, while we think, we produce, for example, a thought, right? So thinking is a behavior shaped by reinforcement and conditioning, positive or negative reinforcement, and the conditioning. We'll talk about it in the next video. So cognitivism also has made another like perspective or reaction to what behaviorists has said about this thought, where we see Lakoff and Johnson says that declare sorry for my mistake, it's my bed. So our ordinary conceptual system, in terms of which we both think and act, is fundamentally metaphorical in nature. Means that here, like even like the system that we think by or with can be like can be a metaphorical, not like something that is abstract and not concrete. Yeah, so we cannot observe it. So this means that it is non-observable and abstract, and the thought is abstract. So how can we observe it and say it is a verbal behavior, like what behaviorism says? So this thought in cognitivism has made refutation for behaviorism and says it's wrong. And then interactionists led by Vygotsky, who declared that language is as a product of social interaction. Means that here that thought is not merely expressed in words. It comes into existence through language and thought. So they said through them. Means here, if we can see this, it means here that Vygotsky declares that language, and it is like a product. Yes, we can produce it by certain cognitive processes, of course, and it is like it is abstract. Yet it must be put into the use or social interaction. Language can be developed through social interaction, conversation, communication between individuals, and the thought is not like always expressed via words. It can be it comes into existence. Yeah, it exists through both language and thought, and they are both shaping each other. And then he says that language and thought are interdependent and cannot exist without each other, without the other. So they are like coexists. They have a relationship between them, is coexists, and they cannot each one of them continues the other. They cannot like be separate terms or separate one is dependent and dependent than the other one. They are related to each other. Interdependent means that they are dependent. They depend on each other. So the last theory for today is neurolinguists. Neurolinguists like Federici. Sorry for the names because they are new for me too. Federici says that language and thought are closely linked in the human brain. We can highlight this. Language and thought are closely related, linked in the human brain. yet they rely on partially independent neural circuits. What does this mean? He means by this that language and thought are overlapped or dependent. Sometimes they are not totally different than each other, and they continue each other, and sometimes one of them is more than the other one. So he says that neural processes are different. Language exists without, so are different neural according to certain neural processes. شغل عمليات عصبية من خلالها الفكرة as a thought. It is an abstract and can be like transferred. تقدر تنتقل من خلال the brain when he processes it very well, and he tries all the processes until he sends the message, the neurals, the message that leads into perceiving, producing the language and perceiving it very well. So that's it. And it is always like a topic of interest. So that's it, and see you in another video next time after the exams. Maybe I'll try to add more information about this because of limit of the time. So that's it.